Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Insurance Guy show. My name is Aun, and I'm a commercial insurance broker. Dealing with a lot of businesses, I've learned that a lot of business owners are hearing about buzzwords, cyber breaches, privacy breaches, and I'm just going to take a quick second to explain what those are and a couple tips on how to protect yourself against those from being breached, or at least help you secure your defenses.
Welcome to the Insurance Guy podcast. From sales to insurance advice, we discuss ways to protect your business and grow it. Make sure to like and share this podcast. And don't forget to check us out at theinsurers.ca for all your business insurance needs. And here's your host, Mr. Aun.
Now, first thing I will tell any business owner is that, your biggest asset is not money, it's data. You probably, when you think about it, it's true, because Google, Apple, all these guys are essentially data centers. They're tracking your data, they have your personal information. Really, is money their biggest game to that? Well, it's the values in the data and how it's being used. Now, many companies like these, you probably hear over the radio that there are companies who are being breached. They're saying that, listen, our networks were breached. Companies like Macy's, I believe, was breached. Home Depot, Dropbox, and a lot of people I know use Dropbox as well. Now, these things happen. So what can we do exactly to prevent such things? Well, there's a couple of things. Now that we know that data is our biggest asset, we need to be aware, as your company needs to be aware, where is this data coming from and where is it staying? Am I communicating with my clients is the best way to first look at where your data is coming from. If you're communicating with them through text messages, emails, WhatsApp, drives, like the cloud systems like Dropbox, Google Drive, and things of that nature, those things are extremely important to be aware where that data is coming in. And so this way you know what to do or how to protect it. First tip, encrypt your information. There's a free encryption tool already built into your computer, such as your Windows, which is called BitLocker, which is a free system that helps you encrypt your data. This is free, helps protect it so that it's not easily accessible, and it's one step better than what you would have is sending it over, like sending unsecured data to a third party, and you sent it to a wrong party or anything of the sort can put your company at risk. Second is installing and using a reliable antivirus or firewall systems. There are many out there in the market at this moment. You will get a lot of them for free. I personally am not a big fan of the free ones. I believe that there's, I just can't find confidence in the free ones. Not to say that they're bad. There are a lot of great company ones out there as well. For the personal thing, if you have a business, you'd want to invest the money into a well-branded, well-known malware antivirus system that'll help you protect it, or at least one that has really good reviews. Third is do periodic backups to an external source. What that means is not external source as in put it on the cloud computer. Again, it's still in the networks, it can be accessed, but putting it on an external hard drive or USBs or CDs or floppy. Do put your information on an external drive that's off the net, in case if you're a victim of ransomware, which was the craze a couple of weeks ago, where hackers would get a hold of your system and lock you out completely, and they would demand payment by things like Bitcoin to be able to get the funds. And if you paid them, they would unlock the computer and you have access to your data in there. And if you had very important data, well, you'd have no option but to make the payment. However, if you have your data backed up, you can just destroy the computer. And again, I'm not an IT specialist. You'd want to hire an IT consultant to come and analyze the security of your systems. There are a lot in the market out there, and they have the education and the experience to be able to give you on what they see would be the benefit. Now, fourth is setting your devices and software apps to update automatically. And what I mean by that is that's the first part, and the part B to that is to also go in and manually check for updates. Essentially what happens is many of these softwares will say, hey, listen, we will check your system on this time, set the date and time you want us to go and check for new updates for the software. We'll check it. Sometimes I remember I put it at 3 a.m. Automatically, that was the default. I set it up, but guess what? My computer or my phone would be shut off at that time and it would never get the update. So obviously make sure you put it on an update where your computer or your phone or your software is active. It can go out and see if there is an updated system. Also go in and do a manual check. Even if you have it set up as an automatic update, you'd probably notice that I've noticed with some systems where even with the automatic updates, it doesn't automatically update. I sometimes have to go and manually do an update. I'll search it for the system and it'll say, oh, update found. Well, it didn't automatically update, and for that time frame, guess what? You don't have the latest security patches if there was one. And it's a reminder, because it's happening a lot these days. Disregard emails from people you don't know. And if you get something fishy from somebody you do know, make sure not to respond back to that email, the same medium they sent the data on, but contact them from a separate source. If somebody sent you an email, you got an email from your boss asking you to transfer money or whatever the case is, okay, check with the boss, call them or ask with somebody, with their secretary or whatever the case is. This is just an example. But if your friend sends you a message saying, hey, listen, could you provide me with this banking information or whatever the case is, I need to send you something, quickly call the person up, speak with them. Hey, listen, I got this email from your computer, or I got this email, I got this WhatsApp message from you. Did you send it? Or I got this Facebook message, which is the new thing. They'll say, oh, yes, no, maybe so. In that case, you know that this is a fishy email. Especially beware of those ones that are coming from your banks as well, that supposedly are coming from your banks. You'll get an email, something with a similar format saying RBC. You got an email, your RBC, TD, CIBC, Scotiabank account was breached. Please enter your information and to confirm the identity of this account, or whatever the case is. So I'm providing you tips as business owners. You have a responsibility of the data of your own employees' data as well as your customers' data. If you are in breach of this data, if this personal information, whether it's bank accounts, privacy information like their name, date of birth, address, mailing address, shipping, whatever the case is, if these things get breached, you have a legal obligation to make sure that they are notified that their information has been breached, and there are certain protocols you have to follow according to the government standards. There are insurance policies, which are cyber liability insurance policies out there in the market that can help you in case if you are a victim of these attacks. These attacks can range from a couple thousand to a couple $100,000, and even more depending on the size and impact of the breach. Most people who feel that they will never be a victim of it, well, that's what a lot of people say, but let's position it this way. Most small businesses feel that they won't be a victim of it, when probably they could be a victim of it. They might already be a victim of it, but aren't aware they're a victim yet, because let's face it, many small businesses don't have the resources to go in and to invest in a cybersecurity plan, or have a cybersecurity team or anything of the sort. So you may want to consider getting an insurance policy in case if you found out that you are a victim of the breach. This is really important. Now, regarding the insurance policies, you can obviously contact me at theinsurers.ca for any additional information. But otherwise, guys, make sure that you implement these tips. Hope this helps you guys, protect your business. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot.